So, is life just a dream within a dream? Is life just a dream within a dream? That's the golden question. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's MW here. I hope you're having a good day wherever you're watching this video from. And today I'm going to talk about a different topic. And this is something we all experience. Dreams. Have you ever had a dream? And when you're having that dream, all of a sudden, when you wake up, you realize that you're detached from your body, you're watching yourself sleeping, and your body, when it's sleeping, it's having another dream. I know, right? That sounds crazy. That's what you call a dream within a dream. You're having a dream, and then you wake up in the middle of the night, but you're not really woken up. It's just you waking up from another dream, but you're still dreaming when you're still asleep. Something really weird, but it happens to some of us. Maybe it has also happened to you. For me, it always happens so many times because I do too much overthinking. When you're an overthinker, when you think a lot, your brain tends to go beyond the normal limits. So dreams come in different forms and different varieties. I mean different types. Normal dreams can be influenced by something or activities you had during the day or by memories. And sometimes I hear that you always dream something that you last did or you last thought about. So when I'm talking about a dream within a dream, this is next level. This is like when you have a dream falling, but you can't really reach where you're falling, or reach down, or maybe those weird dreams where you dream about being naked, but you don't really know how you got to be naked and you're in public. These are the dreams I'm talking about, weird dreams like that. But when I'm talking about a dream within a dream, it's a sort of loss of control. You lose control when you're sleeping. You dream, and then you wake up within that dream. It's like how you fall from, or it's like how when you talk about the dream where you're falling, you're losing control. In short, you're not in control of anything. Most of the time when you have a dream, you sort of have an idea. It's like an event or a story that's unfolding, but in the end you don't really come to the realization of the end. You don't really reach the end, because I hear that people say if you really dream until the end, you might even die. That's something I don't really know, or I don't know if it has ever been proven. We are waiting to see if it's true. So when you talk about a dream within a dream, it's all about loss of control. When you're dreaming, you lose control. You can equate that in real life. Like most of the time, as humans, we have this ideology, or we think that we're in control of our life. But most of the time, we find that we are really not really in control. So many things happen to us or happen around us that are out of our control. So this whole thing of a dream within a dream is all about control. It's all about the illusion of somehow thinking that you're in control, but you're really not in control. We all have dreams, right? We all have aspirations, we all have goals, we all have achievements we want, we all have a future we aspire to have. It's funny how it's called a dream, but it's in reality, right? So that means as humans, we always have an aspiration of what we want our future to be. And it's an illusion, and it's something we think about. And when you talk about reality, reality is so unpredictable. You can't really know what will happen tomorrow. You can't know what will happen 2 days to come, a month, a year. The reality is unpredictable. So as human beings, we have this illusion and obsession of being in control. And this whole thing of a dream within a dream clearly illustrates that we don't really have control of our lives. We don't really have control of whatever happens to us or whatever happens around us. So we always have plans, we always have schedules, we always have aspirations, we always have goals, and we always think that we have control of each and every moment and times in our life, thinking that we can really build this future, which is an illusion, but in reality it's so complex. Building a future like that, it's so complex because along the way you will have hurdles, you will have problems, you will have things that will happen to you that are out of control, that are really out of your control. So you can only dream of a future, you can always dream of a goal, you can only dream of an achievement, but there's something called fate, and fate is just fate. You can't really change it, and fate comes in when we talk about reality. That's a whole other topic you can talk about, but not today. So today we are talking about dreams, a dream within a dream. And a dream within a dream illustrates that humans are really obsessed with control. Let's talk about dream in a different angle. Let's talk about it in the social media aspect. Modern aspect of dreams is somehow manufactured by the system. We are told what to do, we are told what to wear, we are told what kind of car to have, we are told what kind of house you should live. But our society is so fake, it's so created, it's so imaginary. It's a manufactured dream. So we find ourselves in a position where we so influenced, we are so peer pressured into a certain life that is not really ours. We're so peer pressured by social media. You see something online, you get obsessed with it, you find yourself chasing this high, chasing this life that's really not yours. And you find some people get to a point where they are so miserable, they don't have their life together, just because they were so peer pressured into a certain lifestyle that pushed them to the wall, and they found themselves doing things that they were not supposed to be doing. And they actually don't really even know what's happening to them. It's so subtle, it's so beyond their control that they don't really know they are really going through all this. So manufactured dreams can be really detrimental to people's lives because we are chasing this high. This high is like drugs. Once you get hooked, you can't really get away from it. For that reason, that's why you find yourself always opening your phone, doom scrolling, checking what's happening around you, checking what's the latest cars, what's the latest clothes, the latest bags, admiring other people's lifestyle, always wanting to live that kind of life. It's all a manufactured dream by the system to put you in some loop where you don't really think beyond that. So you find yourself so obsessed with a certain lifestyle. You see celebrities, you see movie stars, you see athletes, you see football players, basketball players, you see their lifestyle, you want to admire it, you see their lifestyle, you want to be like them, you want to be rich like them, but in the end you don't really know that this is an illusion that's been manufactured into an obsession that you're always going to be doing without even knowing. It's a manufactured dream, it's not real. So the system is so set up in a way that you find yourself locked up in this illusion. And you know how humans are, we're obsessed with control, but we don't really know that we are not in control. We're being controlled by other people behind a system. So this brings into another layer of human beings wanting to control other human beings. There's always people who want to be on top, who want to be at the top of the food chain. They want to control every other human beings. That's the God complex. That's the whole idea of being a king, or being an empire, or being a president, or being a leader. I don't blame them. They're just a different level of intelligence that comes into play. Those kind of people are so smart, are so sharp. They know how to go through all the loopholes. They know how to manipulate the system. They know how to manipulate other human beings. So this whole idea of creating a manufactured dream was created by them. So this whole thing of manufactured dream, it's somehow created for control, to control the masses, to control normal human beings, to control normal civilians. But the same people don't even know they're in this loop where they're being controlled, where their life is being dictated on how they should live it. They don't really know. There's this side of dreams where there is silence, there is calmness, there is darkness, there is just emptiness. And in this aspect of dreams is where fear comes in. And fear is brought by when human beings don't really want to have silence in their life. In short, human beings fear silence. Human beings don't really want to be in their silence, because wherever there is silence is where the truth lies. When you think about it, anytime you've put down all the electronics, all the phones, computers, anything that's entertaining you, anything that's helping you have an escape, you find yourself really not wanting to be in that position, because that's where the real truth lies. You don't want to face yourself, you don't want to face your real self. You're so tapped into this new world where we have manufactured dreams that's being manufactured through social media, through entertainment, through sports, that we don't really have a sense of silence. We don't really have time to ourselves to really think through what we are going through in life, what's really happening to our life. And we don't really think that much because we're being distracted by entertainment, we're being distracted by social media. It has turned out to be another drug. People are so addicted to holding phones, to turning on entertainment, TV. We don't really have our own time to think. We're just so obsessed with watching. We don't really want to live our own life. We don't really want to do activities, or really do real activities that can really mold us into better human beings. We're so obsessed, we're so in this illusion, we're so trapped in this loop where we don't really know. We're being in some sort of maze, we're in some sort of box, we're being controlled by the system. And in some way, we can say that we are so helpless, we can't really get ourselves out of this box. It's a loop that's going on and on and on. And you know, the more you don't really think about it, the more you assume, the more you go away, you go on with your life without even thinking about what's going on. you find yourself in a position where you can't really get yourself out of it because you're so addicted to social media, to entertainment, that it's manipulating your reality. It's an illusion that was manufactured to put you in a certain position where you don't think beyond entertainment, think beyond social media. You're there trapped, you're in a loop. So there's always this whole thing of expectations from people around you, your friends, your parents. In short, you try so hard to please people that you forget yourself. Your head is so filled with noise from people, how they say, how they talk about you, how they think about you, that you don't really care what you think about yourself. You're so obsessed with what other people are saying about you. So you also find yourself in another loop of expectation after expectation. In short, you turn into a people pleaser, and then you lose yourself. Then in the end, you start regretting when you really didn't chase your dreams, your goals, your achievement to the fullest, because you are so obsessed with the expectation people put on you, instead of staying in your stillness, staying in your empty room, staying even in your silence to think and really re-strategize your life. But I don't really blame people. It's just how reality is nowadays. When you talk about dreams, you have to also talk about the aspect of how fragile time is. Time is so fragile. Time is so fragile. The minute you just sit there still, or even you put yourself in a position where you're so busy, you don't really think about anything, time moves so fast. It moves so fast. What is the farthest memory you have when you were young? What is the farthest you can think, or what is the farthest memory you have of when you were a kid? Mine is so far. I can remember when I was like, let's say, is it like 4 years or something like that? Back then, I can remember how we used to live as a huge family. We used to live together. A family of like more than eight families, you can say. Something like that. And all of us, we are all in the same compound, same building. And when I think about all those simpler times when I was a child, when I was a kid, things were so easy, were so smooth. There was so much joy. There was so much happiness. Life was not so complicated. The only thing we thought about was how we're going to enjoy our life, how we are going to share meals together. And when I look at how things unfolded slowly by slowly, I can tell you one simple fact: time is so fragile. You turn around like this, you turn back, 5 years go by. You turn back like this, you turn back, another 5 years. You turn like this, another 10 years. So since then until now, there's so many things that really happened in between that period of time, and somehow I have a good map of how things unfolded from since then. This just shows you that when you're young, life is so infinite. You're not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about the problems you might have. You're not thinking about your goals, your achievements that you want. You're not thinking about anything. You're not thinking about, nothing is distracting you from anything that around you. You're enjoying your life, you're enjoying your peace, you're enjoying your family, the foods you share. You're enjoying the moment. Nothing is really distracting you. Nothing is really causing you problems. So you don't really think about the future at all. But time is not forgiving, and time never stops for anyone. You know, when you talk about a dream, you experience it, but in the end, you have to wake up. there's always has to be an awakening of some sort. It hurts, but that's how life is. Life is not rosy always. Life is full of problems. It's full of so many things. And for you to see clearly, you have to awaken from the dream. You have to let yourself feel all the pain. You have to let yourself go through all the struggles. You have to wake up, you have to open your eyes, you have to see clearly of all the things that are happening around you. You have to wake up. It's a dream, but in the end, all dreams have an ending. And the ending of a dream, most of the time, can be tragic and sometimes can be sweet. But in the end, in the end, the dream has to end. And sometimes you're not in control of how the dream will end. Actually, most of the time you're not. Because when they say, if you wake up from a dream, that's what they say. I'm not really 100% sure. You might die. This is something I'm here to prove. So, awakening, that's why people say a rude awakening. That means that this is something that's really going to hurt you, because you're accepting your reality, you're accepting your problems, you're accepting the things that you're going through. So you're opening your eyes, you're seeing clearly. So you have to awaken at some point. A dream always has an end. Now let's talk about the human condition. Human beings, we all have differences, but in the end, we are all similar in so many ways. We are so similar in so many ways. We are all obsessed with how we want our reality to be. We are all obsessed with having a good life. We are all obsessed with having love. We all experience loss the same way. It doesn't matter your tax bracket, doesn't matter your class, how wealthy you are. A billionaire and a homeless person all have one thing they want to be. They all want to be happy. They all want a good life. But those two extremes experience life differently in both different extremes. One is wealthy, one has nothing. But they all experience a similarity in their differences. So that's the human condition. We all have dreams, we all have aspirations, we all have what we want to achieve in our future. And a dream is just a dream. It's unpredictable, you can't really control it. A dream is just an illusion, is a reflection of what we think we want our future to be. But the thing is, fate can never be changed. We can all have dreams of what we want our future to be. We can all have aspirations. We can all yearn to achieve a certain life. But fate is fate. All we can do is accept it and live in the moment. There's something called the beauty of impermanence. What that means is, everything that has a start will have an end. Everything is beautiful around you. The mountains, the rivers, all the physical features, the houses you've created, the cars, everything is beautiful, but they all have an end. So, a dream is beautiful, a dream is tragic, a dream has so many layers, but in the end, there's an ending. There's always an ending. And that is dictated by how time is. And fate is something that can never be changed. Fate is permanent. So there's always beauty in impermanence. And that means that the life that you're living, you have to enjoy it to the fullest. Live in the moment, not to get so obsessed with whatever is happening around you, all the problems, all the struggles. That's why they say life is for the living, because in the end, everything comes to an end, and time is so unforgiving, and fate can never be changed. Life is like music. Life is like a hit song. It becomes a hit, it becomes memorable when it ends. So, is life just a dream within a dream? Is life just a dream within a dream? That's the golden question. Life is full of so many layers. You can't simply say it's just a dream within a dream. Life is reality. A dream is just a dream. A dream is an illusion. A dream is a construct of our minds, of our brains. So we can only aspire to be, we can always set goals, but reality can never be changed. We can try to mold it in our own way, but reality and fate goes hand in hand. There is what fate is, and there is what reality is. And for it to be fate, there is always those steps, unavoidable steps that you have to make in your reality for it to be fate. So the question is life just a dream within a dream? I would like to know. You can write it in the comments and tell me what you think about it. So thank you for watching this video until this point. And if you want me to do more videos like this, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, and also don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thank you. See you on the next video.